just very, very impressed with many of them that I looked at. It does take in, I get that. Did anybody have trouble reversing it? Flipping it? Nobody had trouble flipping it? I'm having trouble rotating it. I'm rotating it. There we go. This isn't a very good way to. How do I get rid of this thing? If I want to see the whole thing.
At the bottom.
Down here?
Yeah, I think that.
Click this back.
I think so.
See if that helps. Now, how do I shrink it so we can see it?
3 dots.
Up here?
Yeah.
Hit there.
There, but I was thinking 3 dots plus or minus.
To where? Here?
Yeah.
Wrong way. Can we see that now? That's not that bad. Thanks for the help. What kind of questions do we have on this assignment? What are the questions we have? Like you're doing it, you're like, I don't know about this or how to do that. Notice anytime you write these numbers, you need the label, which includes the formula that it belongs to. So like when I write the number 1, mole, CO2 equals, there's a number, unit, what it belongs to. That's what we're looking for on these problems. When these things are graded, it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then the question mark, what you're looking for, 20 points on a problem like this. What kind of questions do we have? Does that chart help you figure out what the conversions are supposed to be? Now, sometimes they will have you write the equality. I think on tonight's homework, you will write the equality. Then you will do you know how Tyler DeWitt takes the equality and writes the 2 possible conversions? So the 2 possible conversions, like with this one right here, 1 mole at STP is 22.4 liters. The 2 possible conversions, they would have you write. You would write like 22.4 liters of CO2 at, you can put the STP on there or you can put it on the bottom. 1 mole of CO2. That's one of the conversions. The other conversion, we'd have 1 mole of CO2 on top. And you'd have the 22.4 liters of CO2 at STP on the bottom. So they might have you write the equality with both conversions. Then you'll pick one of those 2 conversions. In this case, we would pick this conversion, insert it into the problem. You're like, but that's a lot to type. Why are you making us do all that? Well, when you get to the test, this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Every time you type something, it will be a point. You get paid for it. You're like, but that's awful easy. Yes, you can get the answer wrong on one of these problems and end up with like an A with the wrong answer, provided the wrong answer was just a math error. A lot of times you get the answer wrong if you have the conversions wrong. So if you have this on top and this on the bottom, that is a costly mistake. That would be like 1, 2, 3. That'd be like -6 right there for having everything in the. Oh, well, if you wrote CO2, it would only be -4. If you wrote the CO2s, you could flip it and still get points. You see how this is going to be looked at, evaluated. Are there any questions on the homework? Are you seeing how to get this from the chart? Talk to me. Are there any of these? Do you have your Chromebook up? Did you already look at the answer key and you know you don't have any questions? Is that what we're saying? You're like, we looked at the answer key. This is very easy, Mr. Hippemeyer. Why are you going over something that is very easy? I don't want to go over things that are very easy. What's troubling you? Yes.
So like SO4 has a 2 minus charge, right?
Yes. Where?
Like for number 3, SO4 is 2 minus, right?
Yes. Are you talking about adding up the molar mass? This part?
No, like number 3. Like if that one would be 2 ions, because it's
2 ions of K plus. No. Take a look at this right here. Good question. You see the 2 right there?
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. Is he saying why is there 2? Why is it K2SO4?
yeah, because there's 2 K's, right? Like, 'cause
What he's saying was the problem. It didn't tell you like the formula for potassium sulfate. So like he did. I'm assuming he didn't know if it was 1 or 2 ions of potassium.
Oh, they didn't give you the formula for potassium sulfate. Think back to our unit on formula writing.
oh yeah, I like looked up the polyatomic.
Yeah, well played. Very well played. He's saying that if you look up the formula for SO4, its charge is 2 minus. We know potassium's in family Roman 1. It's 1 plus, yes? So when you crisscross your charges, that 2 does come down there. You remember when we did the formula writing unit, we're like, we're going to be using this all year. And we said that you have to you become masterful at it. You become masterful at it. You have to be able to do that, or you could end up missing an entire problem now. Everything you do, we keep using. We do. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Come on, let's talk. What stuff is trouble? Yes.
Sometimes I would have a problem finding out what I had for an input. Like I would confuse up with reading the problem. Like I would end up with formula units when I was supposed to have, right? Because I would.
So for which one would you be talking about?
I think it was the second one.
Problem 2?
Yeah, I messed up because I misread the word.
So problem number 2, how many formula units? We know that this is a gram. Let's take a look at the chart, shall we?
So yeah, what I did the first time when I was did how many formulas, I put the formula unit thing in the first box, which I couldn't have.
You did what?
I put the formula unit thing in the first conversion box because
Here?
Yeah.
But this is the question, how many?
Well, I realized that. Right?
So when they ask the question goes first. So we just translate how many, question, formula units, FU, of potassium sulfate, right? The given will always go there. How many ions? That's my question. Question mark ions. Yeah, if you are insinuating that with the chart, this is more of a reading test, chemistry test, I really couldn't argue with you. It kind of is. Because with that chart, you just have to be able to read the problem. The question is, so that one was asking, you know how it's asking for formula units and they gave you a mass. So when we look at the chart, oh, wrong class. That makes it nice and big. The question was, it was question mark, formula units. Question mark, formula units. And they gave us a mass. They gave you a mass, yes? So they gave us this. you would try to find that. How many formula units, which is right down here as one of the units for quantity count. There's formula units. So we're starting here with grams. There's our first conversion. 1 mole, and then we use the periodic table to add up the molar mass. Then we're coming down this arrow. Our last expression should have the 6022 times 10 to the 23rd. So it just gives you the two compute. This one's first. This one's second. It'll set the whole problem up for you. Was there another question? You're like, no, this is the one that I had trouble understanding what the problem was asking. None of the other ones? Gosh, it's kind of hard, like when you're a teacher and you're like so excited to talk about an assignment and everyone understands it. Everybody in here understands it. I was all excited to teach all period. Explain things, have the chart, show you how to line everything up and what the units are and how to do. Oh my gosh, let's go back over how to punch in Avogadro's number in your calculator, 6022 times 10 to the 23rd. This is like what I was hoping to do today. But apparently, everyone's understanding this. So with that in mind, let's see how well we're doing. Let's try 712. 7-12. You might have uncover it. I think, is that one sideways too or not? I don't know if that one's sideways. If it's sideways, you just click on the 3 lines when you open it in Kami. Open it in Kami, click on the 3 lines in the upper right, and you can rotate it. Is it not rotated? Is there even room to type on that one? You might have to shrink the font. Or can you make it bigger on Kami so you have more space to type? Well, let's go ahead and get 712 done.